If you find yourself doubting yourself and you really are like, oh my God, I don't even know what part of my life I have confidence in, we're going to talk about it because this is self-care, self-confidence 101. There's going to be 3 videos to this little playlist. So you can check on the YouTube under playlists. And when all 3 videos are posted, you'll be able to go back and reference them. So if self-confidence, growth, personal development is that your jam, then make sure that you're subscribing to the channel because you're going to get more and more information along with the video version of my podcast. So you may find it quite helpful. So don't forget to smash that subscribe button. So I want to talk to you a little bit about self-confidence because so much of what you focus on is based in perfectionism. Okay. The reason that many people do not feel confident is because you think that you're supposed to knock it out the park day one. And that is unrealistic because you have to challenge yourself to try new things and push those boundaries of comfort. It's supposed to be hard. You know, I cannot tell you the countless amount of times that my clients or people on social media, anybody says, I am afraid to take action. Like they'll literally say, I'm afraid to take action. And they'll say it also a roundabout way, right? Well, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to take action. It's harder to stay where you are. It's harder to stay stuck. I know you might not feel that way because you're used to the chaos of it, but yet you're confident in the uncomfortable. You're confident in the lack of confidence. You really are. You're confident in that. So it's about doing little things to push yourself past that. All right, so we're going to talk about a few of those right now, and that is going to be taking time to tap into what your full potential is, right? Everybody has potential. You are not capable of doing anything you want. That is the biggest toxic way of thinking. You are not capable of doing anything you want. Tell you what I mean by that. I am not at 50, almost 3 years old, capable of going out and being on the NFL team. No, I am not. I am not capable of it. I don't care how much training you gave me. I don't care how much effort. I am not capable of it. So number one, get the idea out of your mind that you have time. You do not have time. Time is going to run out for somebody, for all of us. And so if you're focusing on being perfect and you're thinking, I can do anything I want, you can do anything that you put your mind to based within your talents. So part of your confidence that you're lacking is you feel like, oh my God, it's too much. Like, I can't do that. Like, I can't be an NBA player. I'm being dramatic because I know that that's not always what you're thinking, but I'm putting it into context for you, right? And you have to set realistic goals. You have to say, what are my physical and mental capabilities? Now, that being said, you are going to have to challenge that. There is no scenario on this planet that you're going to get confidence and then do the things. No, you've got to do the things, do it scared, always do it scared. Pick yourself up when you fail at it, dust yourself off, learn from it, do it again. The way to develop self-confidence is to set small, realistic goals. You are going to have to push through those boundaries and you're going to have to keep that quiet. Not everybody needs to know everything. So one of the biggest issues that are with self-confidence and how you can like pretty much determine like, ooh, I might be lacking a little self-confidence is when you're seeking everybody else's viewpoint and validation. That is lack of self-confidence. Promoting self-confidence 101 for yourself is saying, all right, I'm going to take the chance. I ain't got to tell anybody. I'm going to do this because I want to do it, right? And you do it. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But it always works. I will tell you this every single time. Everything that you do, every decision you make is always the right decision. Why? Because it's either going to work as you want it to work or that you see it to work, or it's going to be disastrous and you're going to learn from it. So in turn, if you're learning from it, you are always growing. You're always growing. Confidence. That's self-confidence to know that if just because I make a mistake, I'm still doing well because I cannot grow if I'm not making mistakes. All right. Big thing of self-confidence too is stop comparing yourself to other people and going, well, they can do this. Yeah, that might be in their wheelhouse. It might not be in yours. So self-confidence is just that self, right? It isn't external confidence. It isn't, well, John said that I'm good at this. That's not at all what it is. All right. You also have to celebrate small victories. Part of self-confidence or lack thereof is Well, I couldn't get all that accomplished. I couldn't do all of this. And my podcast, and you'll see it on here, there's a podcast I'm doing on 5 myths about productivity. And this will go hand in hand with this whole playlist. So you want to make sure that you watch that, because so much of what you do says, okay, I have to do this, I have to do that. And self-care, I have a whole video coming up in this series on self-care and how that promotes self-confidence, right? Self-confidence is saying it's okay if you don't like me because I like me. Now, you got to get to that point though, okay? Self-confidence says, I am not better than you, but I also do not need your approval. That's self-confidence. All right? And you also have to surround yourself with the people you want to become. You have to surround yourself. Now, we can't just like go find people who are on our journey, because that might not be possible. But if you're going to use online forums, that's the time to do it. You want to follow forums, social media that is promoting growth, that is not keeping you stuck in a victim mentality. Oh, I went through a narcissist relationship too. Yeah, he was a jerk. Yeah, there's no productivity in that. I understand you want to not feel alone. However, it is not promoting growth. So if you're not around people who have levels of confidence, then you're going to fall right into that sort of pit, right? So that's why you want to surround yourself with people who have forward thinking, people who have a growth mindset, people who are looking to make changes in their life that are positive, people who are not living in the past. And self-confidence says, oh God, that might be hard, but I'm willing to face that challenge, right? Because you are familiar and you are confident in the dysfunction in which you live in. Okay? And you may not realize that. So when you say you have no confidence, oh, you do. You're confident in staying in the trauma. You're confident in staying in the bad relationships. You're confident in that, even though you want something different. But you're confident because that's your comfort zone. Okay? So again, you have to set realistic goals. But before you can do that, you have to say, what is my why? I was listening to Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, in a recent interview that he did. And he said, what is your rabbit? Right? And you got to ask yourself, what is your rabbit? And he was talking about how where he grew up in Florida, there were dog tracks, which I'm not a fan of dog tracks, but that's way back then when he grew up. And it's not a real rabbit. They put this like fake rabbit thing on, and they put the muzzles on the dogs because they don't want them to catch the rabbit, but they want them to get close enough to it. So they're off chasing a rabbit. So you need to know what that rabbit is that you're chasing. Your why has to be your why, not I'm 28 and I should be married. That's not your why. Not I should be successful because of this. You are not defined. Success is not defined by material wealth or physical possessions. That is not what it's defined by. So that's another thing with your self-confidence is you have these expectations in which you're supposed to meet. And then you're like, well, I'm here. Why do I not feel confident? Because they were never your choices. They were never your choices. And if you're waiting to feel ready, if you're waiting to feel confident, doors that are going to open for you are going to quickly close. You do not have time to wait. So if you're not going to embrace the discomfort and you're not willing to distance from people who no longer serve you and not willing to follow people and things and situations that are promoting growth, that's going to be a problem. Because you cannot really grow and heal in a toxic environment, just like you can't have self-confidence when you're waiting to feel ready. All right, so self-confidence 101 is do the things that you're afraid to do. Do them often. Embrace the hell out of failure. Make those mistakes, but you make them. You make them. Don't stay in something because somebody wants you to. That is lack of confidence. That is lack of self-esteem. Face your things. Is it hard? Did you fail? Good. Get up, dust off what worked, what didn't. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. And if you've ever said, God, why are people so like resilient? Because they are not going to give in to the first sign of something not working. And when you get close to that and you start to see things from a different perspective and you start to go, oh, well, the world didn't fall apart just because this person left my life. The world didn't fall apart just because this didn't work. Get up and dust your shoulders off. No, you're not going to be able to build a new empire in the NFL because you might not be capable of it. All right. So keep within your means, but don't limit yourself. Be realistic with yourself. And when you do that, you will develop self-confidence, but they got to be small increments. And I'm going to challenge you to think of 2 things that you want to try this week. Small things, no big deals. Small things that you want to try this week that you've been afraid to do. Is it go to the grocery store by yourself? Is it go do this? 2 things. I am challenging you to do those 2 things. Do it scared. If it doesn't work, what did you learn? Do it again. And that's self-confidence 101.